Few people have influenced the internet more than Z's, a huge bodybuilding influencer who made boys become men by forcing them to pick up the dumbbell or they'll be ridiculed forever. Honestly, the story behind his rise to fame and his huge presence in the early 2000s is really interesting. He had absolutely amazing physique, great routines, and maybe a little bit of trolling. But this video goes into more of the man behind Z. Who was he really? And how was he just such an absolute legend? I think anything to do with YouTubers I watch. This one, he isn't a YouTuber, but is it Zizzy? Is it just Z? But he used to be like huge in like the fit world, man. Like bodybuilding and that.
Prior to his untimely death at the age of only 22, Ziz had become an icon. Everything about him represented the never-ending struggle between success and hardship. His physique, confidence, and status seemed effortless from the outside. However, on the inside, Ziz was constantly at war with himself.
I know this is like such a cliche saying now, but it's insane how people can be so conventionally attractive and just jacked and ripped, and they're usually people that are the least happy with themselves. Like, you do get people that are genuinely just jacked and they're like, holy I'm a badass. But I think people kind of like chase that dream of trying to get jacked, and then it's just not fulfilling for them. It's definitely a weird one, because I've known a lot of people that are, you know, absolutely shredded at the gym. Like, they're on kit, they're on roids, they're on everything, but they're just not any kind of more happy with themselves.
Yet, as a result of making his struggle public and relatable to an online audience, Ziz would become one of the most well-regarded fitness influencers of all time, ending his physical transformation looking like this, and this. Although in the
it's amazing how you can get a body like that. It really is. Like, obviously you have to be on kit to get a physique like that, but it is, yeah, it's amazing. Like, have you seen those people that like they suck their chest in when they're like, you know, they've got like sub 8% body fat, and they suck their chest in and it just looks like a cave, like they're making a Minecraft cave with their stomach.
Beginning at a time when his main hobby was playing World of Warcraft, he looked a little more like this, and this. Ziz explained
Average power viewer there.
In that, I was ridiculously thin. I'm talking the skinniest guy in my grade school. People always commented on how skinny I was and I hated it. I was always known as the skinny kid. I remember feeling like a little bitch when I was out with girls, walking next to them and feeling the same size as them.
I can understand where he's coming from there, because at school, before I started working out, I was always the fat kid. I was never like, I was never fat, like obese, but I was definitely like, I don't know, what's the cope word? Like husky, I guess, like a little bit chubby. Like you remember me like pre-face reveal, right? Like, Jesus, I'll see if I can pull a video up now, but like me face reveal was actually horrendous. Oh, Jesus, I don't want to watch this. But you could just see like how I think as well that how old was I here? So this is 5 years ago. So I was 20 when I did this. I was 20 or like 19. So this was like me at my biggest, I think. But the worst thing is as well, I think the video straight after this, I looked better because I actually understood lighting and stuff. Guys, I want to tell you, by the way, you do not understand how important lighting is. Lighting is so important. What's that meme? Is it Demi Lovato where she just looks terrible? Hang on. Hang on, I'm getting it up. So you got Demi Lovato here, right? This is her, you know, at a runway, red carpet, gala, whatever you call it, right? Obviously, all these pictures, really good lighting. She knows what angle to pull. She looks good, right? Even if we don't like her. So this is Demi with good lighting. This is Demi with not good lighting. It's such a beautiful picture. You know what I love? This picture, please, chat, use this picture to remind yourself, if you wake up and you look in the mirror and you think you look like so repulsive and ugly, it is all mindset. Everyone is ugly under the right conditions.
I started going clubbing every weekend and always noticed whenever a jack dude walked by. They had a presence a lot greater than that of a normal person. The guys respect them and the girls are all over them. And really, who wouldn't want that? It was after making this observation that Ziz decided to embark on a fitness journey of his own. At the age of 17, he sold his World of Warcraft account for $500 before spending the money on a 1-year gym membership at Fitness First Carlingford in Sydney, Australia.
I'm so happy I never got into World of Warcraft. Every person I've met in my life that has played World of Warcraft, they just say that they hated it. They ended up losing $2,000 to the game over 5 years and just never touching it again. The weird thing is as well about like weight loss and stuff, it's always, I mean, obviously with Ziz, he was trying to put muscle on, like put weight on. I remember PewDiePie said this once. It literally just boils down to eating less and moving more. And there's obviously so many subcategories of it, and there'll always be exceptions, like people with like glandular problems and stuff, but it really does boil down to that. The vid's echoing. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Games for like 20 hours a day, and then at one point it's just like...
Which sucks. No, it's not. No, it's not echoing. Oh, it is echoing. Why the fuck is it echoing? That's weird. Yeah, it was coming through system. I don't know why it does that. It comes through stream audio and it comes through system. Oh, okay, chat. Holy. Chat is actually celebrating right now. The worst thing is, guys, you gaslit me into not checking because you were like talking shit earlier, but then when there's an actual problem, I didn't even see.
Aziz explained that after signing up for the gym, he'd have his most embarrassing moment by stating, "When I was starting out, I went to do chest by myself. Had the bar plus 5 kilos on each side. Tried to go to 15 reps, couldn't get the last rep up and it was stuck, and the biggest guy in the gym came running to help. He got it off using one hand, lol."
That is horrible. That is because like I've been to like public gyms, right? And like the ego in there from some guys. So whoever lifted that bar off of him as a kid and did it with one hand did that on purpose to make him feel puny. Like, okay, you have so many people in the gym. You have like the women that do nothing, the women that do something, and then you've got the exact same to be applied to guys, but in a much more extreme way. So you have like middle-aged guys that go to the gym, they got a bit of a beer belly, that they want to lose some weight, they kind of keep to themselves based. And then you've got obviously like, you know, teens, young adults in their like early 20s. They're trying to work out as well, they keep to themselves. But then you get these like these fucking roid heads, right? And they sit there and they spend half the time taking pictures of themselves in the mirror. And again, it's like, if you want to flex in a gym and shit, you want to film yourself, I got no problem with that. My mic is not muted. It's not muted. You're not gaslighting me again. I got no problem with it. You fucking... Stop lying! Stop lying! You're such a piece of shit, man. It's the fact that it's all of you as well. If it was like 3 people, I could have just timed them out. But the fact that it's like 20 individual people spamming it. God damn it, man. Fuck. I keep falling for it. Okay, mic muted. I got him. Lamau. Fucking Walt Jr. sat there on his computer like he turns around to Skylar. I got him. I trolled him. Fuck off, man.
Accompanying Ziz's embarrassing chest day was the creation of his first YouTube channel on the 28th of July 2006, titled 7Ziz7, where he began to document everything in his life from fights at McDonald's to his opinions on music. However, the most interesting thing that he'd eventually capture stage by stage was without a doubt his body transformation. Only 1 year after failing to bench 30 kilos, Ziz had put on a respectable amount of size, and with it his reputation would shift from the unconfident...
That would be enough for me. That would be enough for me. I find it insane that people want to like keep going after that, because that is peak body. I think you reach a point where your body is as physically fit as it can be, because you've got like 2 kinds of exercises you can do, right? You've got like aesthetic and then kinesthetic. I forget. One of them is like, it's not really that useful for you, but it makes your body look better. And obviously, like, you know, people that want the 6-pack and that, respect to them. But like, that is athlete body, because you'll get so many people that end up like reaching their peak natty, and then they'll start like taking kit and stuff.
And skinny kid to an outgoing guy on the internet who would frequent the city party scene.
Look at that. Look at those belt buckles. Abercrombie and Fitch, of course. This is a late 2000s photo. I love this photo.
With his brother. Now, Ziz was still far from famous at this point. Sure, his physique was certainly looking better than it was in the beginning, but his transformation wasn't nearly complete. However, when looking at a post made by Ziz to the bodybuilding.com forums, it's obvious that he planned on continuing the grind, stating that this is what he wanted his body to look like in only 1 year's time.
I mean, he's on kit. That guy on the right he's on roids. There is no way you can achieve that kind. I mean, look at the split in his chest. You are on roids. Look, okay, this sounds a bit gay. Look how tight his chest is. You can literally see the stretch marks there from how tight his chest is. Because what a lot of bodybuilders do before they take photos and stuff, or before they go on a walk, they'll actually dehydrate themselves. They won't just fast. They'll have like water fasts as well. They won't drink water, because obviously water hydrates your body and it gives your skin elasticity. So what they'll do is not drink water, so they look like they're made out of fucking stone.
Well, this kind of transformation after only 12 months seemed almost impossible. A photo posted 1.5 years later showed that Ziz had made his goal a reality, yet unfortunately he would also add that it hadn't been achieved naturally. A forum post by Ziz explained that he had begun his first trend/sus cycle in April of 2000.
No, I mean, yeah, it's inevitable. It's inevitable, because steroids are like so easy to get hold of, bro. Like especially in the UK. In the UK, you go to any sports supplement store that just sell like creatine, protein powder, pre-workout. Like as long as it's not like a health store, if it's just a general like workout store, if you ask them for roids, they'll just hand it to you over the counter. Okay, yeah, he said sus. Guys, is that really all we're taking away from this sus cycle? What's a sus cycle? Like I'm looking at it online and it just says 7 weeks is good for a sus cycle for beginners. It's like whenever I watch a film or TV show and I hear someone say Among Us, I laugh out loud. Like the word has been ruined.
And while this might have been somewhat disappointing for those following his fitness journey, there was no denying that Ziz looked absolutely incredible. Standing at 6'2" with some fresh new tats and an absolutely yoked physique, Ziz represented something like the...
He's shredded. Okay, it's not natty, but who cares? He's shredded and he's tall. That is like what the conventional man aspires to be. Because you know how they'll talk about like height and weight like it's the same thing, right? Like, you know how so many girls on their Tinder profile will say like, I won't date a guy I think below 6 foot. They just refuse to. They talk about like height and weight like it's the same thing. Like I remember, right, when I was younger, when I was like 14 or 13, I had like it was so weird. I had like a mad insecurity about my height because I got to measure how tall I am. I think I'm like 5'11" or I'm 6 foot, but I was mad insecure about my height when I was younger. And I genuinely I was looking up online how to get taller. And I remember seeing this one guy and he was saying like, all you need to do is eat flax seeds every day and you'll get taller. It's like, fuck off. And then, okay, I'm not even memeing. I reached the point where it got so bad, I started looking up like surgery I could get. Surgery to get taller. Yeah, like I was going to get height surgery. And I think you had to go to some like backdoor alleyway place. They'd basically break your legs. They'd put stints in them. And then the stints would force the bone when it heals to stretch. So you'd become taller. But yeah, basically you would get stints drilled into your legs like here and then extend the bone. And I remember going to my GP when I was like 14 and I was like, I want to be taller. And he just laughed at me. And at the time I was like, how dare you? But now looking back on it, it's like, thank fucking God my GP did not sign off on that, man. Thank God. Because what that surgery does is it fucks you up for life. You'll never be able to run properly. It ruins your legs. It stretches them to a point where they shouldn't naturally be. It's like these people that go to Turkey to get like veneers, right? They'll get like they'll get all their teeth pulled out and then they'll have like white teeth replaced instead. This is what they do. They'll go to Turkey because they don't do it in the UK for obvious reasons, and they'll get their teeth filed down to stumps, and then they'll get these white plastic or whatever veneers put over them, and the teeth look amazing. They look incredible. Like, you can see the girl smile at the start, right? But like her smile there, it looks like a Kardashian smile. It's amazing. But the thing is, they degrade over time. It's something in the mouth that doesn't belong there. So it'll slowly rot away at the nerves. You need to get them replaced, I think, every 5 years or something. It sucks. Like, your natural teeth color is literally yellow because the enamel. It doesn't make any sense. Like, if you want to get your teeth whitened, just buy some of that acid and then like let it sit in your mouth. Look at the neck muscles. Oh, my lord.
Physique, Ziz represented something like the ideal masculine image.
He was the voice for all the skinny dudes
I love his hair, man. He's got like anime protagonist hair. I love his hair, man.
out there who wanted to get bigger and get attention or get girls or get noticed or get respect.
And did he get all those things?
Yeah, he did.
However, this wasn't even the primary reason behind why people began to love him. It was that he had this image, yet he tried not to take life too seriously, breaking the overly serious gym bro stereotype.
The Ziz persona was just an act for social media. Ziz created Ziz to be his perfect representation of who he wanted to be and who
Isn't that Greg Duchette on the right? I just see him as like the Italian screamy guy.
he played up to be for his perceived stereotype based on his appearance.
He would state in an interview, "Personally, I'm a very friendly and happy person and believe that people need to lighten up and enjoy life more. Even though I put on a lot of size and to some look intimidating, I'm one of the friendliest people you can meet. I love..."
That's true as well. A lot of guys that are like complete giants and they look like the Mountain from Game of Thrones and they're shredded, they are actually some of the nicest people you meet. Not all of them. I'm not saying like, you know, you go to like, what's it called in LA? Muscle Beach. Yeah, I'm not saying you go to Muscle Beach and they're all going to be friendly to you. So you know how gyms, they're all indoors and that because you want like, well, maybe a bit of privacy, I guess you can call it that. So Muscle Beach is on the LA Broadwalk, the pavilion, and it is just this open gym that anyone can go to. Is that iDubbbz? Oh, he got jacked. I respect it. God damn, he actually got jacked. But yeah, the thing is about Muscle Beach, because it's a public display thing, you basically filter it down to the most like hench people in the world. I'm totally convinced that 3/4 of all the men that work out here, they have a half chub. Seeing all the people walk past them and then working out, they definitely get turned on by it. Like, there's no way.
Now sure, it's obvious that Aziz Shaversian, the real Ziz, built his physique in real life for serious reasons. However, online, Ziz was more of a character that represented the classic fitness douchebag. He even clarified in one of his video's descriptions that Ziz is not a person, Ziz is merely a personification of a way of life.
Did he start the mirin bra meme? Did he start that, or was that like already a thing? You marring me, bro? You admiring my fucking huge biceps, bro.
With this being the goal, he began to build a reputation for being somewhat of an online troll.
Political views, whichever politician is most aesthetic. Barack Obama's pretty aesthetic for a politician, so he deserves to run the country.
Oh wait, is he Kiwi? I thought he was Australian. He sounds a bit Kiwi. If he's New Zealand, that makes him like double based.
Your religion? Shredology. The belief...
Shredology! It's almost like he reached this point. He reached the peak of becoming a superhero, so then he went down like the villain path. Shredology. No, not even villain. That sounds disrespectful. Like anti-hero. He went down the anti-hero path.
The transcendence of life into heaven is achieved at 6% body fat.
You know, the worst thing is, so many kids like lurking bodybuilding forum would have actually seen that and been like, oh my God, I need to fast. I need to get down to 6%, not 5%, not 7%, 6%.
A complete euphoria and sense of accomplishment overcomes the shredder, entering almost surpassing the majestic boundaries of human emotion.
I 100%, one kid would have read that, trying to like shred, and they would have believed that. They would have just took that at face value.
What quality do you value most in your friends? Body fat percentage. In the process of playing this...
What quality?
In the process of playing this character, Ziz would deepen his legacy by seemingly inventing or at least popularizing.
It's kind of genius though, because I imagine once you climb to the top of the ladder, you get pretty bored. You get pretty bored being at the top. So then you start throwing like rotten fruit at the people down below.
A whole new gym bro language. Phrases such as you mad, you mirin, fwark, brah, and come at me bro seem to make up more than 50% of Ziz's vocabulary. And while you might say that these phrases were common before Ziz, he certainly popularized them even
Come at me, man. You mad, bro? Yeah, man. Simply shredded.
Further, in addition to transforming his vocabulary, Ziz would also see a complete overhaul in his success with women. In a forum post, he was asked, how much attention did you get before working out? To which he'd respond, none. I never hooked up with a girl till after I finished school. Yes, strong loser. Never cared about the way I looked, did my hair, etc. But that's because I had no self-confidence. As soon as I started going gym, my confidence skyrocketed, and I have no trouble approaching or talking to any girl, and most of the time they come up to me. Serious. Now,
yeah, it's genius how the culture about being a virgin is just so bad. It's almost like, yeah, I love this like guy culture because it's pretty big in my school as well. It's like if you're a virgin, you were almost like a second-class citizen. You just weren't treated the same. So that guy's got an opinion? He's a virgin? Ah, forget about it. Oh yeah, I saw this meme about losing virginity. It's so bad. So this is apparently for like losing virginity, right? So 13 weird. 15 middle school, 16 optimal age, 17 getting up there, 20 point of no return. You haven't even sold your virginity to a whore yet. You are beyond saving. And then 30, a wizard whose powers are unmatched even by the most cunning of sorcerers. A shame normals can't enjoy with us. So apparently, if you don't lose your virginity by 30, you become a grand wizard.
Now, in all honesty, I wouldn't be able to count how many girls I've hooked up with, lol. Maybe a few hundred or so in the last 3 years, lol. Ziz had gone from a guy who felt inferior next to girls because he was the same size as them to a guy who, when messaged by hot girls, simply used it as another opportunity to troll. Looking good, I would appreciate an accept so we can chat, thanks. Hey darling, awesome to have you as a friend. Appreciate your offer but no thanks. You are 7 out of 10 at best. And because I'm a lot more beautiful than you physically, I do not think there is any reason as to why I must undertake a chat with you, as I would only do so with people who are on my par genetics wise, so as to pass strong and attractive genes to my future children.
He's talking like a white supremacist. You are a 7 out of 10 at best. Sorry, queen, but you're not sigma enough for me. You're just a beta.
Unfortunately, I'm afraid you'll bring our children down 2 points, and judging by your risque DP and ability to message random guys out of the blue, you're more than likely a whore. Thanks for the ad though, hope we can still be friends.
So if he reaches out, it's based. If a girl reaches out, whore.
Ziz often posted these hilarious exchanges to his Facebook, resulting in over 400,000 followers, which then gave him the opportunity to feature in Underbelly in another show titled The National Road Trip. Additionally, Ziz would launch his own protein label and
oh my god, no way. The Legacy of Z ISO Whey, protein of the gods. This looks like parody. Is this real? Oh my god, it's still going? That was 2017. Is it at... No, it's got to be a troll, right? It has to be a troll. Yeah, I feel this is a troll. Wait, no, that's his brother, right? Isn't that his brother who's still running it? If that was legitimate and still being sold, I would 100% buy that.
And a book titled Ziz's Bodybuilding Bible, both of which performing quite well upon release. However, shortly after achieving such viral success, Ziz began to notice how much fame was becoming a burden on his life.
That's a lot to take in for a 19-year-old, that amount of fame to hit you that hard. Because of that pressure, you started using more drugs, more steroids.
I started saying no to photos and people just thought I was a dickhead. I'm not joking how many photos I get asked for. At a festival, it's up to 400 to 500 sometimes. First few months was like, whoa, this is awesome. Other times you can't be effed, and I feel sorry for my mates who have to put up with it now when they're out with me. I would have never...
Okay, that's interesting. I can relate to this a little bit. I think when people come up to me and they want a picture, I always say yes, and I like talk to them and stuff for a little bit, like, you know, just like small talk stuff. I've never actually had a bad encounter with a fan, which is like, I'm amazed. I'm genuinely amazed that I never have. But I've never had anyone come up to me and like snide me or anything like that. Not yet. I probably jinxed it now, but yeah, not yet. But I think my biggest fear is I meet a fan and I act like a dickhead to them, like unintentionally, because then, you know, you've watched someone for years and then they walk away thinking, wow, that guy's kind of a dick. Because that's the worst thing. Because I've met YouTubers before that I used to watch when I was super young and they were kind of like dicks. And it just sours the taste, man. Like, you do not want to watch them anymore. It taints your image of them like forever. So my biggest fear is when I meet someone in person that recognizes me, it's always about like, I really don't want to come across like a dick. I want to be really welcoming and open to them. Obviously, to an extent, if the guy's going to be a dick, I'm going to tell him to fuck off, right? I'm not just going to pander and like kneel to someone who's being a complete cunt.
In addition to being asked for hundreds of photos per festival, Ziz would make a post to the bodybuilding.com forums explaining that every time he'd go shopping, people would yell at him, "Come at me, bro," or "You mirin," and that he'd rather the video that had made him so famous never have been posted in the first place. More negative press would cultivate after his brother Chesbra was arrested for possessing anabolic steroids in mid-2011, with news articles on the topic featuring Ziz's photos, simply because he was the more famous brother, which became even worse after a video with...
So his brother had steroids and he got caught, but the news article just chooses to show Z instead because he has more clout. That is Twitter journalism at its finest.
Surface of Chesbra stating that Ziz was actually the one who introduced him to steroids.
Surprisingly, it was Az. He was the one that introduced it to me, even though everyone thinks it's the opposite way around because I'm the older brother. He was the one who introduced me to it. Every week he'll jump on the scale and he'll be like, look, I'm a kilo heavier this week. Next week he'll be 2 kilos heavier. The week after he'll be 3 kilos heavier. And he'd look at me and Babbo and he'll just laugh at us. And I was thinking, what the going on? Like, this guy's putting a kilo on every week and getting leaner and fuller. And he's eating like a horse. Like, something doesn't add up.
Yeah, like with weight gain and weight loss, you've got bulking periods, right? And then cutting periods. Cutting periods suck, man. I think everyone that goes through even some kind of small bodybuilding can agree that cutting like sucks so much. I've seen TikToks of like people saying like they will literally drink like Coke Zero just to kind of suppress their hunger just because it's something in their stomach. Like, it's miserable.
The immense pressure put on Ziz not only cultivated a refusal to leave the house unless he had friends around him.
This guy on the left, the black guy, he looks like a ripped Echo 2K. He even has like, he's got the little hair that Echo had for like one music video.
He used to be scared just to go out in public, bro, that he needed to bring 2 or 3 of his mates everywhere he went just because of the anxiety and the paranoia that he used to get from going out. There's a lot of things that Aziz was feeling on the inside. I
remember hearing with Echo 2K, what was it? I think there was like an interview with him or something, and then everyone found out he was British and they started commenting like vomit emoji.
But he'd also adopt the attitude in a Facebook post that he no longer wanted to be Ziz at all. I'm sad to announce that I have officially finished with training, festivals, and being Ziz. I want to move my life in other directions and have found myself far too involved in a lifestyle with no genuine substance, meeting far too many fake people / girls who, if I didn't look the way I did, would have never given me the time of day. Time to get back to studying. There's more to life than partying.
That is noble, what he's saying there, and I respect it, but also he was baiting women by adding them and then calling them whores. So, I don't know, it's a little bit... It's kind of cool he had like a mirror... He had like a self-reflection moment though, because yeah, he's kind of realized, well, I'm ripped, I'm shredded. All I'm kind of doing now is just being a little troll on Facebook. So I should probably stop doing that now.
4 months after making this post in August of 2011, Ziz would board a flight to Thailand for what seemed to be a much needed vacation. Given the timing, it was likely that Ziz was simply trying to get away from the chaos back in Sydney, although what was waiting for him in Thailand would prove to be much worse. Scarily enough, Ziz had actually predicted his own death on multiple different occasions. When asked, where do you see yourself in 20 years, Ziz responded with one frightening word: dead. And while this response was probably somewhat of a joke, on the 5th of August 2011, while sitting in a sauna in Pattaya, Ziz would suffer a heart attack from which he would never recover.
A well-known Sydney bodybuilder has died after collapsing in a sauna in Thailand. Doctors say the 23-year-old had an undiagnosed heart condition, but some say a growing obsession with body image is dangerous.
As mentioned in the news report, it was discovered that Ziz had an undiagnosed heart condition which could have killed him at any time, although of course many have speculated that his use of PEDs helped in causing his death sooner rather than later. More concerned with
That sucks, man. That really does. Because he was so physically fit as well, but I assume like the roids put a lot of pressure on his heart. That really sucks. It reminds me of it's definitely a different situation, but James Gandolfini that played Tony Soprano, he died in a hotel while on holiday. I think it was he had a heart attack, I think, and then he died on the bathroom floor. But he went on holiday as well to kind of like clear his head. James Gandolfini was different in the sense of James Gandolfini was like very, very obese. Because during The Sopranos, I think he just progressively put more weight on. Like, if any of you watch The Sopranos or you've heard of it, look at Tony Soprano in season 1 and then look at him at season 6. You'll notice that he puts on a lot of weight progressively. He didn't mean to. It kind of just like happened, I guess. But yeah, I think that was one of the main reasons why he collapsed and he died. But yeah, no, it sucks.
More concerned with how his brother was going to be remembered, Chesbro would upload a 19-minute long tribute video titled Aziz the Legacy, which to this day has gained over 16 million views, with the comments perfectly summing up the positive impact that Ziz made during his time on Earth.
Actual based. What is that? I want to see that. Z. Actual. I'm not going to play it with audio because I don't want to get claimed. But yeah, it's Jesus, that he has actually got Kino body. Insane. It's not even getting that body that's madness. It's maintaining that body, because you don't just get that body and keep it. You got to maintain that. Jesus.
Every Marvel film ranked in 6 seconds. They're all equally shit. Grow up, you fucking virgin.